Here we are on beautiful Jones Street.
You saw Ted Jones.
Regular AirPods?
The ones that don't have a cord.
Yeah.
But the thing is, we're going to learn so much more about AirPods in the future than we don't know now.
We don't know anything now.
Yeah, but even the cords in general. I feel like some sort of headphones are. We've only had headphones for how long?
The Walkman.
We had the Walkman before.
But that's been like 20 minutes.
No, but they had headphones.
That's
You
like-
used to be able to plug headphones into the record player, like the big ones,
Big
you know.
ones, yeah.
But
those weren't used the same way.
yeah, that's like copper wire. That's not
those.
giving you no diseases.
I would say we've had like people using headphones frequently for about 40 years.
Yeah, maybe less than that.
yeah.
Like people
People use them every second of every day.
I mean,
now.
in New York, it's almost essential to have some
Yeah.
sort of headphone. You need to be able to plug out from time to time.
Yes.
You know, by the way, I have a really big complaint. Are we starting?
By the way, quickly, that's why I run tarps off with no headphones. You got to be able to unplug.
You know headphones, tarps off.
Yeah, dude, I don't bring my phone with me to the gym.
I think that's fantastic.
That is good.
What were you going to say?
No, I'm a little offended because are we start? I mean, I thought we were. We're
Sixth annual Ted Jones World Vegan Hot Dog Eating Contest here at the Comedy Shop, July 4th, 2 p.m. I hope these guys will be here. I don't know if they will be, but I would love for
What
you guys
time is
to
it?
come. 2 p.m. July 4th. That's Friday.
I think I'll be here.
Yeah, I'll bring the family.
I was at the last one.
Luke was like, "Can I help on this thing?" I was like, "I don't know, dude. You've been talking a lot of shit."
I know. I was shitting on it for like weeks, and then he gave me a vegan hot dog, and I'm like, it just tastes like a whatever. You know what I mean? It was fine.
What were you about to say?
Oh no! We can talk about the vegan hot dog eating contest, but no, I've seen a few clips. I've watched a few of the previous episodes, and your previous guests. You know, you really kind of put out. You give everyone a sparkling water, liquid death. You didn't offer me in bed nothing. I mean,
I figured you guys could.
No, it's really fucked up. I mean, like Josh Mandel, Olga, with some Mario Bosco. There's liquid deaths. He has them down here.
Yeah, but
ready.
you know what? I feel like
we didn't get nothing, man.
Yeah, but you guys are just such at home here that I feel like I didn't need to offer you guys one. Guys, by the way, thank you so much for joining us today. It's the 500th episode.
No way!
Yeah.
Congratulations! That's
Thank
fucking
you.
sick.
Thank
I
you.
feel honored. Never mind. I take back the stuff about the liquid
dude,
death.
I could have released the $4.99 on 500 because it was just me, but I had to wait for you guys.
You could have had Bosco on the 500 episode.
That's true too.
But he's already been on 18 of them.
Yeah, that's true.
Me and Ben have had two.
We're doing number 19 for Bosco for number 600. We'll see.
Dude, my mom watches like a ton of your episodes.
I love
my
it.
mom's like, I was watching.
I feel like you and Bosco have taken like prom photos together.
That's my guy. That's my guy.
You're at the Snapchat headquarters taking prom photos.
The funny, I think,
because he's in a suit. You know what I mean? He's already dressed for
there's
prom.
two people riding a bipedal bike.
I was going to say, which is funny, which is like something that like obviously I didn't really realize in the moment, but when it was like, this was probably, what was it, like 6 weeks ago, when you were like, just have Bosco go out there and bark, and I was like, it's too cold.
Yeah, that was like, were you there for that?
Because he'll say it's too cold for
Because
me to
people
bark.
recognize Bosco, and it was like it was a while back. It was maybe like March, and I was like, just have Bosco sit outside. Maybe we could be people. He'll get people in the show, and he's like, it's way too cold. Meanwhile, he's wearing a 3-piece suit, a hoodie, and a vest.
He's like a kid.
Well, you know what? You know what's funny
way.
though? People don't know that he's gonna whip out the full 3-piece suit because he comes around in the hoodie.
No,
and the
he's like
vest.
Superman. Yeah,
he's like Superman.
It's a pull away. It is funny that he has the. I mean, he's dressed like a little hoodlum.
Yeah.
I worry about him. If he didn't show up with like 2 mobsters every time he came, I'd worry about him.
Yeah, he's plugged in, man.
Yeah.
He's
Okay,
connected.
so guys, one of the main reasons I think I wanted to have you both on this episode for the 500th is for us in a few years to watch this back and be like, wow.
Yeah.
Look how far we've come.
When one of us is dead.
But the thing is, we've been running this place. To be transparent with anybody watching and listening who've never listened to one of us on a podcast before, we've been running this place, the Lantern, the comedy shop over here, for about a year now.
That's pretty cool.
And yeah, I think it is pretty cool. Given the amount of legends that have graced this basement, the basement is finally open. AC is not yet installed, but hopefully by the time this episode's released,
on that?
God knows.
Cut that.
Yeah. But hopefully by the time we release this, the AC system is about to be installed. Because this is, I keep saying, it's like one of the last weekends that we could do shows down here.
The temperature actually feels good.
Installed.
Yeah, I think we'll be all right. We'll be all right for a week or
For
so.
this weekend.
I think once July hits, are you going to do the vegan hot dog eating contest down here? Because if there's no AC, that'd be a big mistake.
Carpet.
Yeah, you can't.
Oh yeah, with vegan hot dogs on the carpet.
Yeah.
They got rid of that policy. There's gonna be just French fries down here. That's gone.
Stop.
They've been bringing food down here for
Wait,
sure.
what policy?
Cut that.
Yeah, I never heard that
Oh,
policy.
it was going to be no food.
Who said that?
You don't remember that?
No.
Oh, I mean, I talked to everybody about that.
What?
No, they're doing wings and shit.
They're doing it all then.
Wait, they're not doing. They weren't going to do food down here.
The plan was that you couldn't have food on the carpet.
That's so dumb. That would have. I mean,
Nah,
it's tough to run this place with food. Everywhere else. I'm sure that. Yeah, I
Comedy
can't
shop
imagine
is
that
good
lasts
food,
long.
man. Quinoa bowl with salmon.
That's good.
Yeah, Luca's getting us all.
I just want to do a
banned
quick
because
plug.
now he
Quinoa
has
bowl with salmon plug.
salmon. Or just a regular quinoa bowl. Ben has it with chicken.
I have a chicken.
We're all
Chicken ain't
quinoa,
bad.
We're quinoa bowls.
Yeah, well, you know what's more amazing is it's whether or not we're down here and we so many comics have graced this stage. I mean, this place has really kind of gave me sustenance for the past.
Literally, quinoa bowls.
Yeah,
Been feeding
I've
you.
been living off quinoa bowls for a while. That's been my.
Yeah, and dude,
No,
congratulations! Did you hear this guy signed in for a new apartment July 1st?
Yes, across the street.
Well, yeah, we'll cut that part out.
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, don't tell my address.
Thought it was upstairs. Whatever.
No, it'll be fun. It's dangerous being this close to the
I
shop.
was just
though.
thinking. I mean, bro, you're already here a lot.
I'm
as it
like the
is.
super.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, literally, you're gonna get calls from Ed. Hey, can you pick up a nut and bolt?
Yes, that's
Have you
definitely
done that to you
that's what
before,
happens
right?
to me, man.
Yeah.
Because we pick up shit in Jamaica, Queens.
He's like, doesn't Ben live in Astoria? Yeah, can you
well,
go
it's
to
like-
Whitestone Boulevard for me?
Queens is enormous. You think, okay,
Yeah.
so I live in Queens, so I can go anywhere in Queens. Queens is fucking huge. Yeah. I'm going to like construction yards in Queens. Well, one of the guys, I forget what I had to pick up. I had to pick up something for the door here.
Hilarious. But I think we should go over some experiences. I mean,
You want to shop stories?
I think it's just
This is
the
like that-
intricacies
the
of like the
episode
day
of,
to
Like
day.
Seinfeld, the recap.
Yeah, like the episode of Friends where they show highlights, bloopers.
Yeah, they do. Every sitcom does that. Every sitcom has
Did
one
Seinfeld
episode where they
do
go
it?
back. Yeah, they all do it. The finale was
It's
that.
sad that well, sure, they did the trial. Yeah, they did kind of do it but they at least had a reason to do it.
I think in Seinfeld they just had a blooper. I think that's like a classic sitcom move is to do
But
that.
like we wouldn't have bloopers. We would just have situations where like one of us would get annoyed at another comic or annoyed at each other, and then Luca ultimately saying you got to zoom out, which I think is a phrase that we can all relate to now. You got to zoom
Luca
out.
says you got to zoom out.
yeah, I'm very
Which
Buddhist.
I agree with
I don't know
that.
if you know this, but I'm pretty
This-
calm and
How do you,
collective guy.
don't you feel it that
I'm
way?
very, I'm very
Luca's
namaste, man.
Cut to you screaming at that
Cut to
guy
me
on stage.
screaming at a guy.
Turn off your fucking birth control alarm.
She broke up with me, okay, which is, are you fucking kidding me? What the fucking fuck? Who is it?
Kicking a guy down the stairs.
Well, I was gonna say, not the zoom out thing. I appreciate you attributing that to me, but I was gonna say that like it all kind of blurs together. It all is kind of like like we could exchange stories of like crazy things that have happened, but they all kind of feel like. I'm like you could probably tell me. You could be like, remember when that happened and you yelled at that guy, and I'm like, not really. Yeah. It's all every week is some sort of monotony,
Some short shenanigans.
some manic blur.
Yeah, it all kind of blurs together. I mean, the end result is we've done a lot of stage time. And
Yeah. The material is the thing we have to show for
stuff in
it.
between, I don't even remember what the fuck happened here at the shop.
Yeah,
I've seen Mario come and go. I've seen different women get spots and then not get spots.
Go there.
Yeah, different women, black people. Trying to diversify doesn't work.
Yeah. And then we just stay with this. And we just stay with the same core squad.
And all I know is I'm getting up 3 times a day. I don't give a shit.
I would say, honestly, over the last year, 365 days, there's no way that we have done, each of us have done less than 500 spots here.
Here.
Yes.
Yeah, no, that's probably
500,
true.
Easy 500.
Were you here when
If you include open mics, what were you going to say?
Were you here when I squared up with the guy outside? Do you remember that one on the upstairs?
Yeah, the Jason Momoa guy. I told you that guy was going to be an issue, and then you went outside with him.
Can I tell that story?
Yeah,
Were you here for that, Ben?
I don't know.
There was a guy. He looked like a.
was like
I
during the
called him
week.
Jason Momoa. I mean, he was like kind of a skinny looking like Jason Momoa, and he was in the back. And like as soon as I said something, and he was like, "Yeah," like kind of giving me like one of those heckles, and I'm like, "Hey, what's up, man?" And he goes, "Fuck you," just like immediately combative. Fuck you, man. And I didn't, there's no security here at the time. Now we have Shannon at least. And I was just like,
Margarita.
literally back against the wall, just being like, all right, man, like, cool. Well, I don't know what you want me to. And I just tried to do my bits. And And he did kind of get me. I didn't know how to respond to it. And he's right. I'll do it for the camera. I mean, like, he's like right here, and I'm on stage, and I walk off stage. You go, you want to go outside? Do you want to go outside real quick? I'm doing this like in the showroom, and we go outside, and I don't know. I was like, you gotta shut your mouth.
He's like, I'm helping you, man.
Yeah. He's like, I'm helping you. I'm like, you didn't fucking do that.
Yeah, I all did that.
But like that's like that. I mean, all that shit just pulls together. But I just remember being in the show and being like, let's go outside.
You know what?
Like, as soon as I got off,
being a heckler at a comedy show, I can understand once it gets later in the night, because like theoretically, I mean, you have
if you're drunk, yeah,
right, but you have the 2-item minimum, and then you go. First of all, you've been drinking all night. You went to dinner. You had a few drinks, and then it's 11 p.m. and then you come into the downstairs basement, and then you have to drink another 2 drinks. You're 7 drinks deep. Can't hold your alcohol. I understand that person who is a heckler. Maybe they just don't understand.
And also, they're kind of half bought into the whole thing. I mean, we did sort of like we're coaxing them to come in at the front door, and they're like, "Yeah, I guess we'll come in." And then they come in, and then they're like, maybe they don't. It's not what they expect, or maybe they're, like you said, they're too drunk.
Yeah, those I think are 90% of the hecklers. There's only the 10% of people who bought tickets who come who are overserved and. Then they become hecklers.
It's usually either like a young broy guy who thinks he can do it better than you, or chicks that are talking to themselves. The young chick. It's the same age bracket. It's like 20 to like 26, and it's either them going, yeah, man, or them being like, you know, and it's the worst. That's why I love watching Ben go up, because Ben will do like you'll go after the guys and the chicks. You'll be like, yeah, it's fucking not for you.
You had one recently with upstairs. The lips. If you care to talk about that.
That was downstairs. Yeah, I mean, I was doing a bit about my wife's dad kissing her on the lips, and then a guy said which lips, and I
forgot about that.
It didn't help anything. I like lost my mind and thought I would really get them on my side, and then kind of did get the crowd on my side, and then lost them again, and then got mad and lost them again. It was actually kind of a nightmare. I think the guy. I do think the end result is he seemed like self-conscious. The guy he actually apologized while I was like screaming at him.
Oh yeah.
I was like, are you in therapy? Because I was trying to transition into a therapy bit, really smooth bit, and he basically he's like, should I be? He's like so sad.
Oh man,
he'll never heckle again.
Yeah.
Well, the best feeling is getting a guy that's fucking with you, but then the worst feeling is when they get you like that. I mean, that's happened to me a few times. We were just like, yeah, this guy screwed my whole shit. I was actually just home at an open mic and it was just like 8 women, same thing like a show like here. And the girl before me was like doing crowd work, and then they were trying to talk to me when I was on stage, and I'm like, this isn't a 2-way conversation. And then they wouldn't stop talking, and I go, what's your deal? And they go, this isn't a 2-way conversation. And then they're all like, you got him, girl. And it was brutal. And I just sat there and I just had to take it. It was so horrible.
Is it still like a 5-minute open mic in Chicago? It's just
they're just usually more attended.
Yeah.
You know, here it's a void.
Yeah, I feel like it's the same thing outside of New York City, except like in New York City, it's just exclusively comics on their phones
at open
or people
mics,
not really paying.
But I like that now. Now I'm used to it. Now I go and now I'm like I indulge myself in just talking into the darkness.
Yeah.
When there's audience, then I'm like, get out. I'm here to like vent.
So we haven't discussed this room since I guess the last time we were on the podcast. This room wasn't really open when we were on like 3.5, maybe 4 months ago. This room like wasn't.
Yeah, probably.
I thought maybe we had just started. Yeah.
Up there, the thing is, there's like AC going and there's music coming in the room. You have a good excuse for bombing, and in a good room, you don't have an excuse.
That's true.
Yeah.
But there's really
we find the excuse. It was hot. They were foreign.
Yeah, but I went up first. But there's
really not before me trash.
There's really not any room like this. Probably in I don't want to be dramatic and say the entire world, but in like the comedy sphere. You know?
What do you mean?
Something that's this quiet in the Village. You get people that don't speak English, and you can hear.
I think the cellar is. The way I see this room is, it feels like it's becoming like a little training wheel cellar.
It's a tiny cellar. And
it's the same audience.
The difference is the audience doesn't know what the fuck's going on half the time.
And they're not as happy to be here.
No.
So to your point, if you bomb, that feels bad. But if you kill in this room, you're like, oh, I got something. You know, I against all odds, I feel. But it is funny that room upstairs is too loud, and then this one is too quiet.
You know what I'm saying? I say all the time. It's like, it's 2 different clubs.
Too loud and cool, too hot and quiet.
Yeah, 2 different clubs, completely same audience. And the thing is, when people go to the cellar, they booked it 3 weeks in advance. They're ready to go. They're telling their friends. They've been recommended to go there. Here, sometimes on like a Friday, Saturday, it's like, oh, we didn't get into the cellar.
Literally nobody.
Now we're coming here.
Yes.
Yeah.
The best audience is the one that didn't get into the cellar.
Yeah.
The people who don't know what the fuck's going to happen are worse than the people who are mad they didn't get into the cellar. And that's the whole audience.
You know what they're not asking at the cellar? They're not going, is it funny? Is this show funny?
Yeah.
That's the main question we get outside. Is it funny?
Was it last week when a guy was like, he's like, what's the ratio of bombing to doing well? Yeah. He was like, how many people are just going to bomb the whole time? And I'm like, I don't know, like maybe, I was like, maybe 2 out of 7.
I've been when they hit me with the "is it funny?" I go, no, come then, fuck it, and usually someone like Steven or something is there to be like, no, it's good, and but like I like playing bad cop. Hey, what's up?
That's what
you gotta have him on the podcast.
You need a good cop. He always wears my merch.
This is a waste.
He always wears my merch.
You should have him. I know.
We
the whole staff upstairs is wearing.
Yeah, you always need
Ted Jones has.
You always need a good cop.
Sauce.
You always need a good cop, bad cop. You know,
I'm a good bad cop. Ted's a good
outside?
cop. Yeah,
sometimes.
Outside.
Just depends.
Just in life.
Yeah, maybe when we hit on chicks, or like when we or we're trying to get people in the show. Ted's like, ladies, comedy show, and I go, get out of here. You don't want this. That is fun.
You do need all of it.
And they go, is it funny? I go, who give you? I don't care. Don't come then. And Ted's like, no, come. It's a good back and forth.
When I used to bark more, these girls walked by and they were like, "Is it funny?" And I think Matthew Perry had just died, and I was like, yeah, it's about as funny as that show with the dead guy.
Oh my God.
And they came to the show.
And they had a good time.
They turned around.
Are you going to New Mexico soon?
Yes, yeah. I'm doing local radio. I'm really going.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Right, that's old school.
Old school.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, I'm going to New
Los
Mexico.
Alamos.
Farmington.
Come on.
Farmington, New Mexico. I'm doing a show in Albuquerque when I land, and then Farmington, I'm there for 3 nights.
Are you bringing your wife?
No. I don't know.
When is this?
God, no. Thank God.
Cut that.
No, keep that.
I'm going to bring my fucking baby to New Mexico.
Oh, my God.
I mean,
Chili farm?
landing in Albuquerque, there's a chance you're going to get murdered. It's not worth it. Albuquerque's like,
Well, how do you get there?
dangerous.
How do you get there, though? Go to Denver and then
I'm flying to Albuquerque. So
it's a direct?
I'm flying directly to Albuquerque. Yeah. There is an option to fly into Durango, but it's more expensive, and they didn't want to pay for that.
Let me open for you, dude. Come on, I'll come.
Dude, if you want to, you can fly, right?
I can get to Albuquerque.
Yeah, I am looking forward to it. It's kind of a shit show. Like at this level, it's like there are people who have been doing it about as long as I have, who have the same experience level and the same audience, which is like pretty much non-existent, who do headline at clubs that put them up and take care of them. But a lot of the time, that's not happening.
When are you going?
I'm going June 11th.
No, I'm in Vegas then.
Yeah. Oh, all right.
Come to Vegas after.
You can't go. I'd love to go to Vegas.
Well, shout out Dr. RFK. We got up there our 4th man, Juan de Grief, who's holding down the fort. He'll be here. I'll probably be here.
Have you had him on the pod?
No, I asked him like a while ago, and he said no.
I would listen to that episode.
Yeah.
My point is, there's going to be some. I can already tell there's some weird shit with the guy booking it, and it's.
I thought it was.
sketchy.
Already happened.
It has happened, and it was a little odd.
But we're in that phase.
But you got
We're in the
paid well.
sketchy headliner phase.
Sure.
Somewhere he's like, I can cover half of the hotel, and it gets kind of it's all last minute, and it gets weird.
I gotta start booking more of that. I need more like to run the longer time.
You know who's
sketchy
telling me about
headliner.
that?
Yes,
Natan was telling me that he's trying to book more stuff this summer, doing stuff like that. He had some good insight on it. I'm doing my first, maybe like 45 minutes in the Hamptons in August. So I got to start running longer sets. But like in New York City, you guys know it's tough to do more than.
That's what we're saying. You got to get
minutes.
out.
Yeah, my contract says I have to do 30 to 45 minutes. So I think I'm going to be fine.
That's a big window.
I thought it was going to be an hour, and the contract really undershot the whole thing. So
I wonder what the
45
attendance is going to be like. Just a bunch of Mexican guys in cowboy hats.
it's Native Americans. The biggest show I did
Mexican
out there.
guys in cowboy hats.
The biggest show I did out there was all Navajos.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, so you were there before?
I was there a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
But I only did like 2 shows, and one of them was at a fucking bowling alley. It was bizarre. One of them was that one was actually really well attended. There were like 80, 90 people
Jesus.
at a bowling alley.
That's not bad.
Yeah,
It's great.
I mean, people outside of New York City, that's
Just
their
Native Americans.
Yeah.
No,
And
they're so much more appreciative of it too.
Well, there's one Native American dude who listens to every podcast. He knew who Tim Dillon was. He knew Mark Normand.
I am a big fan of one that runs.
Yeah.
one that runs with Rogan.
I forget. He was like something with steel. He does something where he fucking bangs steel all day, and he just listens to podcasts. I made a Jew joke and nobody got it because there's no Jews out there. and he was like, I got it because I listen to podcasts. Yeah.
He's like, don't worry, bro. I was there for you.
Yeah. There's gonna be plenty of Native Americans, people gambling. The main show's at Sunray Casino.
That's cool.
Yeah, and they do races out of there.
But don't you guys
Horse
feel
race.
that podcast is so much big? No offense to your radio gig that's coming up, but don't you feel like podcasts are so much bigger than radio now?
Of course, big podcasts are bigger than radio.
Yeah.
Local radio is way bigger than 99%.
You think so?
Because most podcasts have no audience.
I took a radio class in college. I don't remember even what it was like about, but it was about like radio broadcasting because I was trying to do maybe journalism stuff, and they were talking about how like major money making radio stations in cities, small markets, their entire business model is to appeal to 35 to 50-year-old women.
Oh yeah,
Really?
That's their like that's
was in
all.
college
There's a
when you
country
studied that?
station, pop station,
Well,
rap
people are at
station. Yeah, well, those are the moms driving their kids around to taekwondo or driving during the day. It's every single station is except for like the jazz station and like the hardcore.
Is that the ads too?
Yeah, like if you listen to like whatever B90, whatever the fuck, it's always they're just playing the top 20 charts and they're just trying to get.
totally.
They're doing stories in between that a
People
mom
who
would.
are like watching soap operas and shit. That's who they want.
Yeah.
because that's who's like behind the times and has the time available to listen to that stuff. And in a place like Farmington, they're not up to date. They're not listening to Tim Dillon to get information about comedy. They are listening to local radio, and I still think the turnout's going to suck. But it's a good way to promote it.
I like the radio every now and again. When I
you
used
like
to
to
drive
turn on the radio?
Yeah, when I used
Well,
to
you
have a
listen
car.
to, what's his fucking
Well, but I
name?
feel like
What do you
for
listen to in the
what's up,
car?
buddy?
Podcast?
But I feel like for the most part, if you don't have like a Spotify or go on Apple Music, then that's when you listen to the radio. What do you listen to when you come in? Yeah.
When I come in, well, it depends if it's just me or if it's Scarlett. I mean, I'll listen to podcasts for sure. If Scarlett's around, she loves music, so we're playing music for sure.
That's nice.
Her
Tupac.
stuff. Yeah.
Her stuff.
Yeah.
Lil Einstein.
She likes like pop. She likes dumb.
So what
Dua
is
Lipa.
What is
Yeah, exactly. She likes Dua Lipa. She would probably love Kelly Clarkson.
what is
and all that
she
nonsense.
watching on? She watches YouTube a lot, right?
No, I don't play kid stuff for her.
That's
Oh
so
yeah, you have a
sick.
bit about that.
Yeah, I actually don't. Like we watch.
Does Christina though?
Not really, a little bit. They'll like sing the wheels on the bus, and I can't fucking stand that.
But she's
shit.
not playing like Peppa Pig. None of that shit.
What's
very
that? YouTube
like a
radio?
kid's
it's on
show.
Netflix.
Yeah.
A really small amount of that stuff. I try to avoid it as much as possible.
But I think some of that's good for the kid. No, is it?
it probably is educational. I just have I can't do it.
Yeah, I love that.
She's up to date. Like we literally watch like
The joke you do is so good.
We watch like regular TV. We used to watch like movies. Now she gets sad though when she sees stuff. I was like, I was watching a kickboxing fight. And she started crying.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I feel like kids just don't like boxing. Violence.
No,
like
it was
that.
and we could have done that years or like 6 months ago because she didn't know what was going on. Now
Yeah.
she's more aware.
Right.
But any music video for anything, she's fully on board.
Has she ever seen you do stand up?
She's
Not like in the room,
No,
I
she's
mean on-
watched me editing clips and she
Yeah.
loves it.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
actually her favorite thing to watch by far is either a music video or something live music wise or a clip from a talk show. Because she gets clapping and laughing.
Yeah.
So they're all clapping and she starts clapping.
That's crazy.
And then they all laugh and she goes,
Is she like super drawn to the phone? Like if the phone comes out, does she want it?
yeah, but she doesn't know what's on it. She just likes the light.
Yeah,
and she
yeah,
knows
yeah.
and she can tell that we like it. I actually want to do that as a bit. Where like, I love my daughter. When I look at her, it's really obvious that I love her. But from an outsider, like an alien's perspective, it actually would. If they were just like, "What does he love more?" They would go, "He loves his phone more."
Yeah. I think that's true.
I'm just like,
Spend more time on it. Yeah.
you know, scrolling.
What about
Yeah.
what about FaceTime? I think you've briefly talked about that.
Oh, well, we got to FaceTime the grandparents. We got to
But she loves that.
She likes that. Yeah, FaceTime my wife when she's at work. Midday. We definitely do that, and she likes that a lot. And she knows, like, she can tell when the conversation's ending. Like, I go, all right, and then she starts waving.
Yeah, really? That's
Crazy. Do you guys hear about this this Google AI VO VO3 thing. Have you heard about this?
No.
It's just basically AI, but you can tell it a story and then it shows you a cinematic movie of it. So you can be like a stand-up comedian doing very well in a
Bombing at
crowd.
the comedy
Everyone's
show.
having a good time, something
Whoa.
like that. And then, but the visual of it is just as good as actual graphics,
What?
like a good camera. It's
Wow.
insane.
That is wild.
But that's something that, I mean, it's going to take a long time for, the actual stand-up comedian to be as funny as a
Oh, you mean
regular
the AI stand-up?
Yeah, the
That's
AI
not gonna
stand-up,
happen.
right, but that's what I think. But the AI stand-up is not good. But if you're like a chef in the kitchen who's stressed out because a customer sent their dish back, that is a movie that's already been written.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure,
do you guys
sure.
mess with
crazy.
ChatGPT at all?
No.
Do you?
I've used it.
Well, I've been using it for like when I post a video, I'll ask it like, hey, like what do you think I should hashtag this with or caption it with to make it more conducive to like going viral in the algorithm? Like who should I be targeting? And so, but I don't attach the bit. I just say like, hey, I'm doing a stand-up comedy bit about dogs, and here's the premise of the bit. And every single time it's like, oh man, that sounds like a real freaking knee slapper. Yeah, that sounds like it'll be great, bro. Here's some recommendations for you. I think it needs to be less nice. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It'll get there,
But
right?
I am nice to it back. I go, thank you, Chad. I really appreciate
Apparently
that.
that wastes a lot of energy when you say thank you and sorry. Did you hear about this? Sam Altman.
Oh
was
yeah,
saying
it like
people-
burns all the water or
Yeah,
something.
which is
Water's
nuts.
on fire.
The more you say thank you and please and sorry to ChatGPT, he's saying don't say it because it just fucks
That's
up.
funny. That's funny that you have to be rude.
Yeah.
What do you
Right.
mean? What
Because
is
like if
it
a ChatGPT,
burns
because
energy.
like ChatGPT takes so much energy
To run.
It takes like thousands and thousands of gallons of water.
People are using ChatGPT for nothing. People use it for
Therapy.
For therapy, literally.
Yeah.
Right.
I've seen that online, and then I was talking about therapy at a show, and a guy said he was using ChatGPT in the audience.
Because it's too nice. It goes, oh man, don't worry about that. All good,
and-
bro.
And like, there is data supporting journaling, like just writing down how you feel. What's the fucking difference? Why do you need to ask a computer? Just write it down.
Well, because it
The part
gives
that's
you
beneficial-
feedback.
But the feedback is nothing if it's coming from ChatGPT.
Yeah, the feedback is just
It's stuff,
yeah.
In general, I would say it's stuff you could come up with on your own. If it's coming
But
from
ChatGPT, it does remember your shit if you have an account.
Yeah, which is terrifying.
It's terrifying. It'll be
don't
like, oh, you're a comedian, right? What are you working on? You're like, leave me alone, you fucking robot.
yeah, that's scary.
Well, Sarah Huntington was upstairs, and I think she put in your name or something, and was like, "Oh, Luca's dad was an electrician in Chicago in the 1980s."
No way.
Except that wasn't true, but like would just harp
gives
on this
you
information.
misinformation,
Yeah.
too.
Well, Sarah Huntington, as a matter of fact, we took a picture together at a party once, and then she put it into ChatGPT and was like, "Hey, Chat, what do you think of this couple?" And it was like, "You guys look genuinely so happy." And I was like, "See, we're into."
ChatGPT is so scary.
Terrifying. But I don't think it's ever. People always ask me the same thing too. If like it's going to take over like humor writing, I don't think so.
Entertainment, I don't think it's going to have
No,
much of
yeah.
an effect.
Yeah, you need that. I mean, I don't. I actually have no
It could
idea. I have no
potentially
source in the
but it
argument.
could potentially write a funny comedy movie because there are like
Formulaic.
I don't
Yeah,
think it'll be funny.
funnier
I
bits.
think it could write a really bad TV show because those are written by people who have checked out anyways.
Yes.
People who are robots.
Like yeah,
It
you're
could,
totally
it could probably write an episode of Law and Order. That stuff's extremely formulaic, and it can be good, but it's not amazing ever.
Well, have you seen the South Park where he's pretends to be the robot, and they bring him in to write
and he commits to the bit.
Yeah, like a studio break. They think he's a real robot, Cartman, in like a cardboard box, and they bring him in the studio, and they're like, "It's Osimo." They go, "Osimo, can you tell us a good episode for a TV show?" And he's like, "I don't know, Adam Sandler or something, going to the movies or whatever." But I think that's funny because it would genuinely do that.
That's
I think.
what it would actually do.
Adam Sandler and then like a chick or something fall in love, but he keeps like shitting his pants or something. Like, so you know what I mean? Like it gets like to Ben's point, it gets like Law and Order is just a big Mad Lib.
I'd say a lot of the garbage that like Netflix generates just to fill in the space on their
No, I think that is. But I think they're already using it.
Well, but if you look at the amount of adaptations that are happening in entertainment, I think it only is growing. Like stuff that used to be a play, stuff that used to be a book. It shows you that you can't even get regular people to write original shit. You're not going to get AI to do that.
You know, in order for a studio to back
Yes.
all this like funding for a TV show, they're like, what is the like? They're like, oh, but it's based on Ghostbusters. They're like, fucking do
Yes,
it
it's
because they
based
know
on a
there's a
movie that's
market
already
there.
happened.
It's a formula for it.
Yeah. There's something to be said for that. I do think that like they also also just want it to be good already before they start even messing with it. They don't want to start with a completely blank slate.
No, that's because I think there's just a bigger risk involved.
Yeah.
But I think people are still making original content. It's just nobody gives a fuck.
So
Yeah, well, they're making plays that don't make any fucking money, and then somebody buys that.
Yeah,
Buy
you're
the
right.
IP that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't cost $10 million to
write a play.
Morons in Louisiana act out a play.
yeah. So speaking on the
The comedy shop play. Can we write the comedy shop play?
bro, that'd be a great.
Hey,
play.
Vandergrift,
That would be
Louisiana.
Comedy shop
That'd be
play.
Hey, Brady, we were thinking about running this place.
This isn't a bad set. You could have people coming and going from just down here.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
I wanted to talk about the original content. Do you guys hear the whole Netflix and getting your special onto Netflix and how you have to shoot it yourself and then you kind of pitch it to Netflix?
Doesn't make any sense.
So you're $100,000 in, you give it to Netflix. Netflix takes X amount. And then if it's not performing well over the first month, you just get buried into it. And now it's just more of like a credit. You know, you get your Netflix stand-up special on there and you're in the red, theoretically.
No, this is an interesting concept. I pretended to understand what was going on with social media and like how comics promoted themselves for a long time. Now I actually don't understand.
Yeah.
I saw a guy post, a guy who performs here. I'm not going to say who it is.
Yeah, okay.
So he posted a crowd work clip.
Oh, I saw that.
Where a guy just basically cusses him out the whole
Just
time.
destroys him.
And he does almost nothing with it.
Right.
And he has 26 million views from it. And this is a good comic, fine comic, posting a kind of shitty video.
For content.
Exploded because people just like seeing people lose their shit on a comic,
right?
And I think it grew his following by probably 15,000.
Sure.
So there's no rhyme or reason to it. I have someone who I started with. She was a handful of years ahead of me, but I started with her. Who's doing the Tonight Show next week? I don't think she's that good, and she's not even black.
Keep it in.
Keep that in. We can't talk shit about Morgan. We can talk shit about Fallon.
She's just a Jew like me. You know, it's like what, you
black Jew.
I didn't even think Jews could do the Tonight Show anymore.
Well, bro, I was looking at, not to cut you off. Go ahead.
But you don't understand what I'm saying. I used to be like, okay, at least if something like that happens, I could backwards rationalize it. Now I don't even totally understand.
No, I completely agree. And I was hate watching a few other people that we can measure. Yeah, his clips, he's clearly inserting laughter. He's clear. I mean, like he's doing and then I was like, huh? I mean, like monsoon laughter. People are blown up from one video that isn't, and you don't know why.
It's not hilarious.
You don't understand the video goes and it's not accumulation.
Yes,
it's one video that takes you to the top, and you go, why was this one?
It doesn't demonstrate a lot of skill. It doesn't make them look like a person you want to see headline at all.
Luke and I were talking about this like an hour and a half ago about how when you curate your page to have all around comedy, it takes longer to get to a certain place.
Yeah.
But then you'll have, if you are posting consistent stand-up clips, you'll have that one stand-up clip that'll boost you through the roof on the algorithm, and then people come and watch your clips, and then they're like, "Oh, this guy does stand-up."
And I think that's true, but I don't think. But to Ben's point, you don't know why that one does the one that does.
It's a little weird to see which one it is that really explodes.
Everything that has ever done well for me, I've always been like, this one.
Yeah.
It's rare when I'm like, this is a great one, and it's going to do well.
Sure. But I want to get back to what we initially started this conversation on was the Netflix needing to, you need to put in $100,000 of your own money investment, or maybe you get investors and then you give it to Netflix and Netflix takes half of that. They give you a $200,000 deal that you're paying your managers, you're paying your agents, you're paying taxes on it. And then you're praying that in the first month, you're getting enough traction to where Netflix will keep it on the first 20 slides. But besides that, if you don't, then you're getting buried in Netflix, and now you're using Netflix as the credit, and Netflix knows that that's what you're doing and able to get more dates out there.
Not even close to worth it.
But Netflix, I think, is still giving people specials. Netflix is still giving people specials.
Well, but also, nobody even really watches most of the specials on Netflix. The likelihood of getting more views is on YouTube, and you spend less money of your own to put it on YouTube, and it could actually blow up. I think unless you're already pretty well known, Netflix at this point is a lost loser. What people do is they do it so they can say they're on Netflix.
That's what I mean.
You're
able to book.
It's a credit, but you can get other fucking credits. Even Netflix doesn't even mean that much anymore.
Well, but I do think there is a huge stamp behind, and then we were also talking about this an hour ago. People outside of comedy, they either say, "Oh, you want to get that Netflix special, or you get the Kill Tony special." Those are the two things right now.
Kill Tony's a huge bump in followers.
Those are like what matters matters actually is the follower count. Whether or not you have something on Netflix is meaningless if you don't have the people to show up at the show. Because you could book yourself a venue and then nobody comes because of
But you're able to get those venues because of the Netflix thing.
Yeah, and then you sell 30 tickets in a 3,000 seat venue.
Yeah,
And I think if you have a follower count and like if you have those followers and then you go to Netflix beforehand, you go, I want to do a special. Here's how many tickets I can sell. Here's
then you can do it.
Then they'll give you the money. I think the people who are like, hey, Netflix, I want to do a special and they have nothing. They're like, no, I'm not going to take a risk. It's exactly what we were saying about revamping original movies and shit. Because it's like, why would we do this? There's no clear line. All these guys in suits, they're looking for a clear green line.
It's too easy now. They used to be able to take risks and see what would happen. And now
there's too much data.
Either you have an audience or you don't. It's really simple.
That big Italian guy was here yesterday. That little Mo Mozzarella. I mean, dude, I'll tell you what. I mean, like I would see his videos online, and I'd be like, this guy's just like a big greaseball guy. I mean, he was showing me like he's so in touch with the analytics and the business side of things. I was like, this guy's smart as hell. This guy really knows what he's doing in terms of like he's like, this is how you sell tickets. Bing, 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 bing. And he did like 15 things that like superseded my brain capacity because I'm not even there yet. I don't even have the same Instagram as him. He's using like a different platform. You know what I mean? Like that, like you get to like 1 million followers and they give you like some sort of like Illuminati platform. It's wild.
The whole point is self-promotion. It's like I think a lot of comics, and it makes complete sense. You want to get the validation before you have anything, before you can benefit from it. So you want to go like, I have a Netflix special. Well, if you have 2,000 followers, who gives a shit?
Yeah,
it would feel
how
good.
Funny you are.
It would feel good to have that, or to go do Just for Laughs or something. That all feels good. But if you don't actually get a job from that, it's meaningless.
And on the reverse end, you have guys that are filming specials, and they're like, "Hey guys, I'm about to film my special," and it's like, all right, you did it for your friends at St. Mark's, and it was, you know what I mean? Like, what are you gonna do with that?
Did you have people are doing that like crazy, and they're spending a lot of money out of pocket, like $8,000. It's fucking crazy.
You don't have a base.
Yeah.
Wait, what do you mean 8,000?
Just to shoot a special costs a lot of money.
I mean, bro,
even on an amateur level,
these shitty specials at St. Mark's
on an amateur level.
Yeah, you're spending $10,000. Why not save that and have 5 months of rent? What the hell are you doing?
Yes.
Well, what I was going to say is you took the New York Comedy Club class. Did that lady come in, the manager lady?
Yeah.
And talk to you guys?
Yes.
She basically was like, she's like, if you're doing a YouTube special and it gets under 300,000 views, you're wasting everybody's time. And I was like, that's a high number. I did not anticipate that.
That's a big fuck you, yeah.
Yeah, and she's basically saying like all this stuff is nonsense. It's all noise filling up the internet. And I think that is kind of right. Like if you don't have a certain sized audience already, and you're not very, very good already, it's kind of pointless. And that rules out almost everyone. But if you have a huge audience, you could, but then the product wouldn't be good. And if you're really good at stand-up but don't have a big audience, you'll have a good product and no audience. You need both.
I think you got to build it in tandem.
Yeah.
Never before has that been the case. You either get one or the other, and then you know what I mean?
And there were random people who got lucky and they'd get a Comedy Central half hour or something, and that kind of jump-started their career. There's no room for that anymore. And there are plenty of people, I mean, I grew up watching those, the Comedy Central half hours. There are plenty of those guys who didn't do anything afterwards.
Plenty.
You can watch Tom Segura's half hour, and you can watch some guy who did nothing, not a single thing afterwards.
Yeah, well, you know, it's you do see like Netflix will do those like the stand-ups. Like I don't know how often they're doing those anymore, but like
that's their version.
Like you'll have some company or like Hulu will do like their showcase show,
Like
and
Netflix
like
is a joke.
I mean I would love to see more of that. I know it's probably not, like you said, it's not conducive for money wise, but like OnlyFans right now is doing all those specials. They're cranking that shit out, and I don't know. You know, people make fun of them, but it's like I don't know if they're trying to make it so like, hey, we're not just porn. We're investing. Like I feel like they're investing marketing money to be like, hey guys, we're not just porn.
Yes.
When really they are just porn, but they do. They pay like fucking $10,000.
Yeah.
You get to film a 10-minute special, and you know you get put on a platform that isn't amazing, but you get more eyes on you.
No. It probably helps people a little bit. I do think my guess is that's gonna die. Like I just
it's got to
on that platform. I don't see it really working. Like you finish
They keep doing them,
you
though.
finish masturbating and then you get an ad for like some guy who looks like me doing stand. You'd be like, what? I want to look at tits. Why is this
But
guy
they
doing
keep
stand-up?
making them. They've made like fucking.
Well, I mean but that
They have
brand
a
brings
lot
in
of
so
money.
much money.
Huh?
They bring in so much money. The top creators on that app make
They
like
make so
60
much
mil a
money.
year.
No, I know,
think
but
they'll get-
you would think they'd make 3 and be like, let's see how it performs.
Sure.
They're cranking them out like crazy, bro.
I do think
There could be some money
I think they'll
behind
get
it,
bored
though.
of it at some point.
And Don't Tell is another great platform now that
Yeah.
like takes comedians
Don't
that
Tell's
kind of have
good.
no following and puts them on a.
Don't Tell helps a
Don't
lot.
Tell really good. Don't Tell. Netflix is a joke.
What's the process for a filmed Don't Tell set?
I think it's they have Nico Catania just did like they have like an audition show, like you can sign up and it's like a raffle audition.
Okay.
Or I think it's a lot of like networking, who
Right.
you know, maybe they reach out to you because I went to a couple of tapings and they do get someone from everywhere. It's not like it's all New York people. It's like they got a guy from Austin, they got a guy from California, they got a guy from Texas, they got a guy from they're from every different. Someone I know, really good comic, Kristen Toomey just did one from Chicago. I mean, I think they try and get a pull of the country.
Is that the one I met, or is she someone else?
I don't know if you met her.
The older lady?
No, that's Maggie.
No,
Maggie.
but I think that like you said, it's more of like a networking thing. Like the way I got Netflix as a joke is through Snapchat. Like
Yeah.
the way I got that audition.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's
Yeah.
multiple avenues.
But yeah, I think it's like a good amount of networking, who you know in that particular area. And that's also a good thing. Networking isn't dead, which is
It's
is good.
imperative. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
not going to die.
No, hope not.
Schmoozing.
Schmoozing.
You.
Right, well, now everybody's depressed.
Yeah. I
Well,
mean,
you know
we
what?
came down here with like 500 episode, and we're like,
Yeah,
it's all
no.
for nothing. I dibs on
Come
killing
on.
myself. I just called it in the beginning. I didn't even know.
It's going to be very interesting for us to look back, whether it's in a month when this episode first releases, and you guys listening and watching.
My
at
mom
home.
listening to this.
Yes,
Mom
your mother,
comments.
Luca's mother. Yes,
My mom, she listens. She's like, I was listening to the one with Mario Bosco
You know
and
what?
Ted.
I hope so.
And I was
We've
like,
done enough
what?
freaking episodes here that hopefully somebody
Yeah,
out
but I was
there
like,
is
she's like, it
remembering.
came up on my algorithm. I watched it. I'm like, you're watching Ted and Mario Bosco in the basement? I was like,
yeah.
I gotta get back on this.
It is weird how that happened.
All right, guys. Well, let's get to work, man. We got
Well, I think we
got
got
3 shows tonight.
but on the good bright side, Ted, we got a bunch of shows lined up at the Comedy Shop.
Yes.
8, 9, 10, midnight. And whether or not we're going to make it, guys, we're getting our reps in and we're doing the thing that makes us happy. And that's cool.
That's the most important thing.
That is cool, man. We're here
Yeah.
on Friday, Saturday, Sunday night when we could be out.
Shop Boys on 3.
Fucking chicks.
Fucking chicks.
3,
Go.
2, 1. Shout boys! Thank you guys so much for tuning in to episode 500. Ted Jones World Vegan Hot Dog Eating Contest, July 4th, 2 p.m. Love these boys. We'll see you guys soon. Peace!